All right. So I'm going to start. See if we can start sitting in whichever way works best for you. Cross-legged, legs in front of you, kneeling, whatever works. And just take a moment to feel the weight of your feet on the ground. Try and let your legs relax. And we're bringing the awareness to the breath, and here we go. And just taking a moment to notice the lower part of your body. Every exhale, feeling the parts that are in contact with the ground and letting them soften, melt down. And then as you exhale and you feel the weight coming down into the ground, see if you can inhale and let your upper body feel a little bit lighter without making too much effort. Let the awareness move along the lower back and the belly. Letting the belly be completely relaxed so that the breath can move out into the front of the abdomen, into the sides of the waist. And taking a moment to listen to your body, to find out what it needs this morning. And letting the awareness move into the chest, the upper back, relaxing the muscles of the chest as you breathe in. Oh, Coadie, you're so mean. Okay, just breathe here, guys. I'm going to put on some socks. Just have to save my toes. So as you're breathing in, letting the chest rise. As you're breathing out, letting the shoulder blade relax down. And then bringing the awareness into the neck and the head. Noticing if there's anything in the way you're holding your head that you can do different to let the weight relax, to let the shoulders relax. Letting the arms hanging down by the sides. And start with the exhale, gently draw the chin down towards the throat and lengthen the back of the neck. On the inhale, lifting the head back, just facing forward and trying to let the back of the head move back with the back of your spine. On the exhale, softening the chin down, looking down to your navel, and inhaling, gently looking forward, raising the top of the head up. And as you breathe, keep awareness of where you feel the movement. If you feel your shoulders moving with this, if you can relax them. Maybe as you inhale and you're facing forward, drawing the head ever so slightly back, you can feel the chest lifting higher. The top of the arm relaxing down. Then we're going to bring some circles. So exhaling the chin all the way down and turning the head to the left. Inhaling, looking towards the ceiling, lifting the chin and turning right, looking down the right shoulder. Exhale, circling the bottom back. So let yourself use the rhythm of your breath. exhaling and inhaling gently to the mouth or to the nose. And letting the rhythm of the breath with the music to the movement of your neck. Next time, coming down to center, gently, slowly change direction, looking up to the right, all the way up, and down to the left. And you can keep your eyes closed, or you can also let your eyes make big circles. Feel the outside edge all the way up, all the way up, your eyes all the way down. And feeling you can give your eye muscles stretch also. And slowly coming back to center. I'm going to bring the right hand just underneath the collarbones on the left side. And try and direct your breath underneath that hand. So just feeling as you breathe in that the chest rises under the hand. On the exhale, gently draw the right ear towards the right shoulder. Just a side movement and feeling left side of the neck lengthening. Inhaling, filling up the space underneath your right hand. And exhaling, letting the weight of the head come a little lower towards the right. Feeling how you can connect all the parts of your body. So letting the left sit bone weigh yourself down into the ground, letting the left shoulder come down, and letting the right ear come down. And with the hand on your collarbone, you can feel like if you're turning your body and you try to just keep yourself facing forward. And the next inhale, slowly gonna come back to center. Relax the right hand down. Take a breath in the center. Notice the difference between both sides of the body, the effects of the stretches. And then bringing the left hand underneath the right collarbone. Breathing deeply underneath that hand. And on the next exhale, gently let the head tilt towards the left. And you can make a micro movement and with every breath move a little bit further. Sometimes playing with how little you can move. And then on the exhale, on the relaxation, how much you can relax to let the weight of the head bring the head to the side. And you can feel maybe if your chin is lifted too much or if the head is facing too far forward, you might find a balance where the ear is directly over the point of the left shoulder. And the right shoulder feels heavy, the elbow is to the side of your body, and that right arm is really relaxed. And next inhale, let's slowly come back up. Relax the arms down onto your sides. We'll do some shoulder circles. So on the exhale, we're going to roll the shoulders forward. And then inhale, lift them up and all the way back. And exhale, down and forward. So let your hands just relax. And again, using all those gentle stretches to draw the awareness to your breath, to let the breath settle the rhythm of the movement. As you're moving slowly, noticing if there's parts of the movement where it feels a little tension, and you can work on that during the class. And next exhale, relax down, and we're going to reverse the movement. So we're going to inhale back and up, and exhale forward and down. And keep your head really relaxed. Notice what's moving, it's the top of the arms and the shoulder blades in your back. And slowly come back to center. And bring the hands onto the knees, if you can. So taking a gentle hold of the knees with the hands. On the inhale, we're going to draw the chest, the elbows fold, and the shoulders come back. We're going to look all the way up. On the exhale, we're going to start with the navel, pushing the navel back and rolling the spine from the lower back, upper back, all the way to the head. Arms come straight and we're pushing ourselves back. And on the inhale, resisting with the hands, bringing the chest forward. So moving with the breath. And feel like you can roll over your pelvis. So on the inhale, you come into the front of the sit bones, the chest all the way up. On the exhale, you're rolling towards the sacrum. You can think about this like a cat and cow movement, like the hands on knee one. And if sitting on the ground doesn't work for you, you can do all of those stretches sitting on a chair, just the sit bones on the edge of a chair. And slowly come back to center, finding a moment to sit upright. Noticing where your balance is. Let your hands rest if you can. And take a deep inhale, lengthening the spine upwards. Exhale, and then come forward, trying to bring the navel first, then the upper abdomen, then the chest. So you can have your hands on your knees and head last. And relaxing for one breath out, cross the head to the ground, and then inhaling, rolling back up. Exhaling, coming forward. This is head coming last. Inhaling, rolling up. I show you from the side. So as I exhale, I try and keep my spine straight. I use my hands to weigh a little bit onto my thighs, keeping them down. And then rolling back up on the inhale. Come back to center. And let's just cross your legs the other way and do a few rounds with the legs crossed the other direction. Notice if there's a different feelings on your hips. And as we're warming up, keep following your breath. And if you feel like you've got more energy, you can let yourself breathe a little faster, a little deeper. Is that rushing anything, Coadie? And slowly coming back to center. I'm going to inhale in the center. On the exhale, turn towards the left. and reach right hand all the way left. Inhaling, coming back to center. Exhaling, slide your left hand all the way right. Okay, I'm not going to slide my hands because I'm going to get attacked, but you can slide your hands. You can use the other hand to keep yourself balanced. Here you go to right hand side. If you can keep the body facing the right side, the two hands in front. On the inhale, see if we can come up to straight back, even to a slight arch. Bones connected to the ground. On the exhale, really softening the midsection of your body. And taking a few breaths. And then slowly, you're going to let your right arm come further down towards the ground. And take more weight onto the right arm. And with each inhale, you're going to gently turn your chest towards the side, towards the ceiling. Maybe bringing the left arm with you, supporting yourself with the left hand. The left hand in front of your chest to gently twist. Maybe bring the hand all the way up, supporting the back of your head with the right hand and letting the elbow stretch and feeling the stretch from your left foot to your left elbow. As you're breathing here, find length along the spine, along the lower back, along the neck. Like the right shoulder way down towards the ground and the left shoulder open towards the ceiling. And then on an exhale, let's bring the left arm back down towards the ground, face back towards your right leg. Inhale, slowly come back, center. And taking a breath in the center. On the exhale, coming with both hands over in line with your left thigh. And breathing here, inhale, lengthening. Exhaling, maybe coming a little forward. And when you're lengthening, start lengthening from the right sit bone, the right thigh, pushing down into the earth. And using this to let space come through the spine all the way to the top of your head. On the exhale, slowly relax. So moving with the breath, big or small movement, whatever it feels like your body needs this morning. Keeping your mind focused on the feelings in your body. And next inhale, lengthen. On the exhale, come down, support yourself with your arms and let yourself rest over the left thigh. The right thigh still reaching for the ground. As you're steady and relaxing down, let the breath change how your body feels. And slowly putting more weight onto the left arm and gently drawing the right arm back to the side, getting the chest to face the side and reaching just the right elbow towards the front, using the right hand to support the back of your head. Breathing into the side opening stretch. So the right sit bone sits into the ground or reaches for the ground. And you feel More space coming between the right ribs. Trying not to collapse onto the left arm. And take another inhale here. On the exhale, rolling back towards the left thigh. And inhaling, coming back up and to center. And taking a moment here. And I bring the legs in front of us. So, however feels good, you can keep them straight, but bend is okay. You're just finding that length in your back, straight back. If we can interlock the fingers behind our spine or behind our hips, and maybe rest the knuckles onto the ground, taking a few breaths here. On the inhale, we're just lifting the chest. On the exhale, softening the elbows. You can keep the hands up if you like, or put them down against the ground, whichever feels good. Making sure that the neck is relaxed, letting the shoulders, the arms move back and down with every breath. Noticing if that draws any tension anywhere else than in the shoulder. And if you feel it in your back, maybe shift your seat ever so slightly. Maybe engage the abdomen as you're breathing out to let the lower back be strong. And again, feeling that the neck is relaxed and the head is in line with the rest of the spine. Exhale, relax the hands down by your hips and change the cross of your fingers. So bring the other thumb on top. And let's take a few breaths, extending the arms behind you. Maybe playing with the angle of the body, whether it's leaning back or forward. And on an exhale, let's relax, slide the legs a little more straight. They don't have to be totally straight. And slide ourselves towards the legs. And taking a very soft and easy forward bend. Just letting yourself rest over your legs. And you can take hold, but don't draw yourself forward. So try and feel that the breath moves into the back of the body. And on the exhale, it's like a bouncy castle deflating, flopping over your legs. Coadie. On an inhale, you're going to slowly roll your spine up from the lower back to the middle back to the upper back. Taking a moment to sit upright. Notice how different it is to sit upright with your legs in front of you as it was with your legs crossed. See if there's one way that it's easier, and try and understand why it is. If there's something in your body that's like drawing you back, that's making it harder to stay upright with your legs straight. And as you breathe, you can relax. And And slowly we're going to let ourselves roll down onto our back. So we can take quite a lot of breath and just wake up the core as we're doing this. So we're trying to let the spine move down towards the ground with the lower back first. So you can move like, a tiny bit as you exhale, and then as you inhale, hold it still. And exhale, lower down a little bit. Inhale, hold it still. So taking low breath. Make sure you don't come back up when you inhale, that you just freeze into place. And finally, let your head rest down. And take a moment to breathe into your abdomen. You can bring one hand along your navel and one hand on your chest. And pay attention and try and find out which ones lifts first. Or maybe they both lift at the same time. Maybe one moves more than the other. Don't change it, just notice what it's like. Make your exhale slow and very complete. And then as you completely relax for the inhale, just keep breathing in until you're completely full and notice if that changes how your belly and your chest move. And keeping that awareness of the breath in the front of your body, let's slide your arms open to the side, somewhere along a T shape, but the elbows can be bent. You want the back of your hands to rest onto the ground. And keep the awareness on the belly and chest. Now slowly with your breath, let's see. I'm going to stand up, but you do it lying down. So you're going to make some snow angels with your hands. So letting the back of the hands rest onto the ground. As you inhale, slide the arms and the hands to the floor around you, all the way to somewhere above your head, and you might not go all the way up. Don't lift them off the ground. Find the place where the weight stays on the ground. Exhale, bring the hands back towards your hips. And inhale again, sliding the hands down. So it really isn't about how far you can go, about noticing if there's any catch in the front of your shoulders, any tension, and let you relax in that place. And if you feel like taking your breath somewhere where your hands are all the way up, then you can do that, or just keep moving with your breath. I do find sometimes doing the movements rhythmically helps awakening the different parts of the body. So we inhale, circle the arms all the way up. Not all the way up for you. And exhale, slide them back down. And if that feels good, find a place where the hands can be over your head and with the back of the hands and the arms and the forearms resting into the ground. And stay here for a few minutes. And again, you're taking those very deep, slow breaths, fully inhaling and fully exhaling. Notice the pause between the inhale and the exhale. And notice if there's any new sensations when you're full of breath, pausing for a split second or a couple of seconds, whatever you feel comfortable with. And then whatever comes to your attention when that breath is full and you pause it for a second, see if you can relax the part that you noticed. And take just a little moment to pause the breath as well when it's completely empty before you breathe in again. So you're looking for any kind of strong observation skills. Notice if something happens in your spine. Where does your body move when you breathe? And you're not telling your limbs to move. Now you're going to bring your legs a little closer together and point your toes. And bring your hands together with your thumbs towards the ground, your palms together. And take a deep inhale. And you're really going to stretch here. And then on the exhale, you're going to keep that stretch, but draw the lower back towards the ground. Draw the lower ribs in. And then inhale, stretching again. And you're letting the back of the neck and the back of the lower back coming towards the ground. And we're going to stay in that stretch for a few breaths. So every breath in, just try and make yourself a little longer. From fingertips to toes, bring attention. As you're breathing, notice where you feel the movement, where you feel the stretch. And try and spread it from your toes, through your legs, through your torso, and to your arms and shoulders. And then on the next exhale, let's come and grab the right wrist with the left hand and cross the right foot over the left ankle. Take an inhale here, and on the exhale, we're going to bring the hands towards the left side of the mat. And slide the feet also towards the left side of the mat. And we're going to try and stay facing upright. So your head can turn to the left, but your hips and your chest are facing the ceiling. And breathing into that crescent shape. Finding a place. So again, you can bend your elbows, bring your head closer to your hands closer to your head, and find a place where the shoulder blades and the arms can rest onto the ground. Come back to the feeling of the breath into your belly and chest. That is which one moves highest, where the breath moves deeper. And check that you're not adding any tension into your back. Relaxing, letting yourself come closer to the earth. And then on an inhale, we'll slowly bring the hands back over the head, uncross the legs, bring them back to the middle. Lengthening in the center, and on an exhale, open the right foot to the right, cross the left foot across the right ankle, grab the left wrist and slide your hands towards the right corner of your mat. Taking that crescent shape onto the other side. And again, as you're breathing, let as much of your body rest onto the ground as you can. Soften the elbows, soften the shoulders. Check the curves in your spine, the lower back and the neck. And just imagine, try and visualize them and try and relax. So it's natural that we have curves in our spine, but we don't want to squeeze the space between the vertebrae in the inner curve. And then we've got another curve in the thoracic spine that goes the other way. And as we're breathing here, we're trying to also soften along the back of the ribs, all the muscles along the spine. And on an inhale, slowly come back to center. And exhale, bring the hands on top of our hips or upper thighs. Take a breath here. Let the elbows rest onto the ground. And trying to keep the elbow onto the ground, we're going to inhale and lift the knee up, slide it so that the hand slides all the way to the knee. And then on the exhale, slide it back down to the ground. And then inhale the other leg up. So you're letting the elbows rest on the ground. You're keeping the other hands flat on the hips. And you're just paying attention to the effort you need to make, lift leg up to where you feel movement. On the opposite leg, on the spine, on the core. Check that the rest of your body, your shoulders, your neck and your head, don't make any unnecessary effort. Exhaling with the knee coming up, inhaling with the leg coming down. Next time you lift the right leg up. Let's stay here and just bring the right hand on top of the knee, left hand on top of the thigh. And breathe here. And on the exhale, you might find that you've got space to bring the left knee a little or the right knee a little closer to you. But on the inhale, you're trying to let yourself settle into that position. So inhaling, press the shoulder blades into the ground, roll the arms down into the ground, and the back of the head, the lower part of your skull towards the ground as you inhale. So you're broadening your torso. On the exhale, you're softening all of this, letting the belly come in and letting the right thigh come a little closer to you. Keeping the left hip nice and down into the ground. Now slowly with awareness, on the inhale, we're going to let the right knee come out towards the side. And on the exhale, we're going to pause and make sure that the back and the left hip are still resting down into the ground. And then inhale, open a little more. And exhale, draw yourself back down towards the ground. So trying to move the knee just on the inhale and pause on the exhale. And only go as far as it feels comfortable, as the exhale can be a steady, relaxed pose. And take a deeper inhale where you are. Exhale, bring the right knee back up over your chest and change your hands. So hold it with your left hand and let the right hand come to the floor outside the body. And on the exhale this time, we're going to let the right knee come across the center line of the body. And on the inhale, we're going to pause and notice the tensions in the body, trying to understand if there's any, like a lot of the lower back problem, a lot of the kind of stiff hips, they come from those muscles that are tying our leg bones to our sacrum and to our spine. And those very small conscious movements can help relax those tensions. So inhaling, pausing, and exhaling, drawing the leg across. And there might be a point where your right hip lifts off the ground. And if that feels good, you can keep going. If it doesn't feel so good, then pause where you are and just breathe here. If it does feel good, you can turn your head to the right and keep going until your hips twist to the left. Pausing in the inhale and drawing the leg a little further on the exhale. And when you're inhaling, you're still trying to let your shoulder blades, your arms rest into the ground, the front of your body expanding. You might go as far as resting the right foot on the ground, but you might not. Whenever you find the edge of the pose, just remain here, steady, and breathe. And then taking a deeper inhale on the exhale, gently roll the knee back to the center. Bring your right hand back on your right knee, your left hand back on your left hip. Inhale here, and on the exhale, slide the left leg back down to the ground. And adjust your body, take a couple of breaths in the center. And on an exhale, slide the left thigh into the right hand and bring the right hand onto the knee. And inhaling, drawing the shoulder blades, the top of the arms into the ground. Exhaling, letting the left knee comes towards your chest. Pausing on the inhale, exhaling, drawing the knee a little towards you and keeping the right leg, the opposite hip, from moving. And this is all about how little effort can you make to draw your body into a deeper stretch. So you really have to try hard, not to try too hard. And see how that works for your mind. If you feel maybe frustrated from doing slow movement, or if you're feeling sleepy and finding it harder to keep your concentration, just observe how you feel and how you think as you're moving along with the breath. And try to withhold judgment. Try to not like or dislike, be satisfied or unsatisfied. Try to just take it as it is. And then come back to the breath. And notice how each breath can be ever so slightly different, whether it's for the sensation in your body or the thoughts in your mind. And now we're going to slowly open the left knee out to the side, and on the exhale, pause and relax the back of the body back into the ground. Every inhale, opening a little more. Every exhale, making less effort. Finding the edge of the movement for your body and remaining here still and breathing. Checking that the neck is as long as it could be, that the right leg and right hip are relaxed into the ground, that you're not bringing unnecessary tension into your shoulders or chest, that you can let your body push down into the ground with every exhale, feeling a little heavier. Taking a deep inhale where you are. On the exhale, slowly bring the knee back up to center and change your hand. So holding it with the right hand, opening the left hand to the side. Take a couple of breaths here before you start exhaling and drawing deep across the center line. Inhaling, pausing, and exhaling, going a little further. Turn your head towards the left. And if it feels good, eventually let the left hip lift. If it doesn't feel good, then don't go too far. Maybe drop the foot onto the other side and stay here. Inhale, broaden the chest, let the shoulder blades rest onto the ground, and exhale, slowly let the thigh come across. Whenever you find the edge of the movement for your body, remain here in stillness, observing the breath. Now you can take a deeper inhale where you are, and on the exhale, we're going to turn towards the left. So bring the body all the way left, and then turning onto our belly, putting ourselves on our hands. Let's come to hands and knees. Finding your place where your shoulders are over your hands, your hips over your knees. I try and lift one after the other. Finding a place where you really just lifting one shoulder and letting the other hand kind of come exactly underneath it. Yeah, get this out. I can want to take my gloves off. So let's have a look at the hands. And if your wrists are a little sensitive this morning, you can move your hips a little back. And so take left weight into the hands. And you can do that kind of thing, like pouring the ground. Lift the hands, moving from one hand to the other, keeping the elbows soft, maybe trying to come up onto the flat fingers, and then coming up onto the fingertips. Now we're gonna gently do some circles. So every time we take the weight off the hands, we're gonna move the fingers to the side until we've got both hands with the fingers facing towards us. And here, gently, we're gonna make some circles with the chest over the wrist. So again, you want most of your weight to be in your knees, and you want to be very gentle with your wrists. And then do some circles on the other direction. And then see if we can take more weight. So coming back to center, taking more weight into the knees, and gently peel up the hands as we're coming onto the fingers. And slowly come back down. If it's way too much, do one hand at a time. Bring one hand back to support yourself and just do one hand at a time. Just make sure you do both. So you can push the hips back towards the knees and lift the palms up. And then slowly, slowly, slowly bringing them back down. And so play with as much weight you put on the wrist of the fingers as you move it. And then slowly coming back to center, and we're gonna take movement to turn the fingers back to the side, one hand at a time, all the way back to here, and all the way until fingers are facing towards each other. So you got the fingers facing towards each other. You can do some circles here with the chest over the wrists. And then see if gently with awareness, I'm gonna do some like very push-ups. So bringing the elbows up to the side, lowering down, and then pressing into the hands to come back up. You can exhale coming down, inhale coming up, or whichever way is better for you, but keep the movement moving with your breath so you keep that breath awareness. See if you can keep the base of your fingers down to the ground. You're spreading. You know what we make in play school when you make those like babies make those like handprints in clay. Try and do that on your mat. So you want you're gonna make a nice big handprint for Mother Day. And then slowly come back to center, one hand at a time. Face your fingers back forward. And exhale, let's push the hips back into child pose. And let's bring the hands by our sides and let the palms of the hands face up, fingers face towards your feet. Elbows come up and taking a wrist stretch. So back of the hands on the ground and elbows pushing towards the back. And when you're here, you can try, and again, with wrists, you want to be very, very gentle. Wrist like joints, they don't seem to hurt straight away when you hurt them. It feels like you can do loads of stuff, and then like hours or days later, you end up with something. So you want to be really gentle. If it works for you, see if you can kind of like slowly lift the back of the hand up and let the knuckles rest. And then exhale, bring them back down. And then resting onto the hands onto the knuckles, see if you can make fists with your hands. And so holding the fist quite tight. And then again, letting the back of the hand roll, but keeping the fist tight. And like letting the elbows move back. Okay, let's come back up onto hands and knees and kneeling and try and do it like this because you're not gonna see. So I'm gonna make fists with my hands and rest my hands onto my knuckles. And then one hand at a time, I'm gonna see if I can keep my fingers really tight, but roll onto the back of my hands. So right, this is the floor. I'm starting like this, and then I'm keeping my fingers really tight. I'm gonna try and roll like this. So again, like only, don't put too much weight in it and just finger stretch and trying to keep the fingers quite tight. So you can do it facing with the back of the hands facing towards the front, or it will also be easier to do it with the fingernails each other. Then if you can do both hands at the time, so starting with like the fists underneath your shoulders. Right. Bringing the back of the hands down. So you're gonna open the wrist or the elbows to the side. And we can do those like very small pull-ups, so bringing the chest down. And then so this way the back of the hands down close to the ground. Keeping the fist really tight. See if you can push up and kind of try and straighten the elbows. They might not straighten at all. And it's kind of there's a point where like it's really hard to keep your fist closed. So again, gently with more awareness, like very little weight into your hands, all the weight into your legs. Come up and try and maybe bring them closer to each other. See if that changes the feeling. And then if there's a place where it feels like it's a nice stretch, see if you can stay here for a few breaths. So fists as close as they go and elbows as straight as they go. And then opening the hands. And let's come to kneeling and let the hand rest onto your thighs. And take a few breaths. Trying to direct the breath along the back, the front of your hand. Notice if any sensations in the hands and the wrist move up towards the forearms and the elbow, maybe all the way to the shoulder. Follow with the breath and relax the breath out. Come back onto hands and knees. I'm going to do that sequence. So from a little too far forward. You want to exhale, slide one hand under, get your arms all the way down, drop your head. Inhale, press into the right hand, come back to center, and exhale, move on to the other side. So let's do it by yourself. Do it 12 times, 6 on each side. And then pause and stay about 10 breaths on each side. Let yourself count your breath and move with your breath. And when you're done, slowly come back into a child pose. And let yourself rest here. Pay attention to where the breath goes. What changes, what moves in your body as you breathe in and out. And you can try and count your breath. As you breathe in, you're counting 1, 2, etc. It's like roughly a second per count. And then on the exhale, you keep counting, and you just notice how long is the inhale as opposed to the exhale. And for each breath in, you start counting again. And then slowly come back to sitting. If we can sit half and half, so half a cross leg, half a kneeling leg. Try to find a place where you can rest. If you need to put some support underneath your seat bone to feel more comfortable. And more comfortable means like, lighter upper body. So lower belly, lower body, legs round, and the spine is upright. Try and keep your hips balanced. Maybe bring the hands into the hips. Maybe bringing one hand at the front, one hand at the back. Let's inhale, sit taller and use so the hands to kind of gently support yourself. Notice if your, your hands at the belly is moving more forward. Maybe you hold this back a little bit. If it's the backhand that's moving further back, just try and support yourself into the right position and not whether you're leaning from one side to the other. Now so my right leg is crossed in front, my left leg is kneeling. I'm gonna inhale in the center. On the exhale, and slide the right hand towards my left leg. And inhale, turn a little further back. And then I can try and put my back behind my back until it comes towards my right hip. Or if that is something that feels nice to you, you can bring the right arm back and take hold of the bicep with the right hand. If you're holding your bicep with with your left hand, your right bicep with your left hand, then you can also give yourself some squeezes onto that bicep. So a little, and then it means you can't move as far, then the right hand, the thigh or the knee, or you could have a strap going somewhere around here and holding this and just breathing into a twist. And you inhale, you lengthen, you let the shoulders move back, and because the arms are stiff, you can use the tension of the spine against the arms to open the shoulders. And then you exhale, you're going to try and draw your chest back over your ribs. So if you've inhaled and arched a lot, on the exhale, you're trying to draw the belly in and line up the front of your ribs with the front of your hips rather than having them all the way forward. And at the same time, relaxing the hips. Letting the head turn all the way to the left and the eyes look all the way out of the left corner of your eyes. And on an exhale, slowly coming back. And on each knee, take a deep inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, you can come and lean forward. And then inhale, draw the hips back and the chest forward. And exhale, lean a little more. Inhale, hips back and chest forward, maybe using the fingers in the front. Coming as far down as you like. On an inhale, lifting your head. Slowly coming upright. Exhale, relax here. And then let's bring the right hand all the way back and the left hand onto the thigh. And take a couple of breaths and twist. And if that feels good, lean on that right hand and push into the left lower leg and maybe lift the hips. But if it doesn't work for you, just stay here into the twist and you can twist with your breath, exhaling the hips down. You can also use a breath under your hands. Take a couple of breaths in your favorite part of the stretch. exhale. Slowly come back to center. You can lean back and windmill your legs deep out away. Adjust the blocks that you're sitting on or anything like this. You do this. Coming back to find. So, like when the leg is folded, it's kind of nice to like the flesh of the calf kind of up to be able to bend the knee a little more, and then try to balance back onto both sit bones, level the hips. And one side might be more balanced than the other. We're gonna bring the right arm all the way around and hold the bicep, left bicep. Take a couple of breaths here, opening the shoulder, letting that right shoulder move down. Inhale, you lengthen, you can lift the chest, shoulders move back. The exhale, you keep back. You gently push the spine back against the floor. Get that front straight. And then slowly twisting towards your kneeling leg, towards your right leg. If you can hold the thigh or the knee, the strap with the left leg to give yourself a little support, you can do that. And again, trying to kind of visualize your hips and your ribs and your head and try to have them over each other. They're all facing slightly different directions, but they're above. With every breath, you might go a little deeper or you might not. You might go deeper by holding with your arms and drawing yourself, or you might just go deeper by relaxing into it. And taking a deep inhale where you are. Exhaling, slowly come back to the center, hands on both knees. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, come forward. Inhale, lengthen, sit bones reach back, chest reach forward, fingertips can come over in front. Moving with your breath, whichever way feels better for you, however far that works. Inhaling, looking forward. Exhaling, slowly coming back over the center. And turning towards the cross leg, the left leg, bringing the left hand behind you. So you can use a block for the left hand. That might feel quite nice. On this side. And just gently twisting, putting a little weight in that right lower leg. So you're kind of like pushing the top of your foot down into the ground, not your the foot and the front of the ankle. And if it feels nice, you can lift the hips, maybe rhythmically. If it doesn't feel nice, just don't do it. You know best. And remember what we did on the wrists as well. So don't let all of your weight sink into the base of your wrist. Keep your knuckles down into the ground and your fingertips. Moving with the breath. Find your favorite part of the stretch and stay here. And on an exhale, slowly come down. Let's bring your legs into butterfly, soles of the feet together. Holding onto the ankles or the inside of the feet. If you can hold onto the inside of your feet without tensing your shoulders, without having to too far forward. If it's too far forward, then keep your hands on your knees. Again, sometimes if your back is stiff, sitting on a block or a couple of blocks, it's just going to make this so much easier that you're going to be able to relax in it. And when you're relaxing in it, your legs, your muscles, your fascia, your tendons, they're stretched more than if you're in a place that your body isn't ready for. And because it's too tight, it's going to tense more and it's not going to stretch. So, don't try too hard. Sometimes trying too hard isn't going to bring you as many results as trying less hard. And that is a good lesson that works for a lot of things in life. So wherever you are, if you got your feet into your hands, you can look down at your feet, but draw the back of your head up and back. And maybe pressing with your thumbs on the outside edges of the feet. And finding a place of stillness. And again, just kind of coming back to how easy or challenging is it to sit upright with your legs in this position compared to the legs out front or sitting cross-legged or even. And on an exhale, bring your knees together and you can take Shavasana. Or if you like, because it's been all a very slow class, and I think sometimes if we take a slow class and a Shavasana, then we're just in a sleepy mood for the day. But whatever works. So Shavasana, sitting in a place that feels the most comfortable. And again, don't be trying to impress. I don't know, who are you trying to impress? It's easier to sit with your sit bones on top to keep your spine nice and light. Come here and find a place that works best for you. So could be on your belly on your chest, could be joined together in front of your chest, just feeling the energy between the palms of your hands, the symmetry between your hands, and of the breath under the thumbs. And you're just gonna sit still for a few minutes and start with counting your breath. And as you're counting your breath, try and see if you can count without controlling. So sometimes it gets difficult. If you're counting, then you're making your breath match your count. Try and not control it. And just start from one with the inhale, pause between the inhale and the exhale, and then keep the count with the exhale. It doesn't matter how slow or fast you count, just try and keep it an even rhythm. Keeping your eyes closed, adjust your position if you need to, so that you can come back to stillness. And maybe let your hands rest down onto your laps. So palms up or down. Just take a few moments to pick a position where you're going to be able to remain still. And let go of the count of your breath. But if it helps keeping your mind focused, you could use your right hand, left hand, or both. With every breath in, open the fingers, and every breath out, count with your thumb on one of the long fingers so that you count your breath this way. And it might help you keep your focus without just being. And now, let's just relax your awareness. Let go of the focus on the breath and observe whatever comes to your mind, to your attention. Coming back to a place of non-judgment. Taking in whatever comes to your mind, welcoming it. Letting the body relax, letting the mind relax. Letting the muscles of your face relax and letting a very light smile come onto your face. And notice if that changes anything in the way you hold, you feel or think. If you've taken Shavasana, take a few movements, make your way back up to sitting. You've been sitting, bring your hands back together. And let your awareness move back to the world around you. Observe any sound, feeling of space around you. Let's rub the hands together. Bring them over your face, your shoulders, your beautiful hearts, hips, knees, and feet. Namaste.
Namaste.
No.
Thanks, Julie.
Thank you.
Stiff, Julie.